Time to put more money into Shiba. That looks good. Let's add another $100. The price has increased a lot. I could also sell with profit now instead of buying at an even higher price.
No, please don't sell me. I'm still growing.
What?
I'm still growing. If you sell me, you will lose potential gains.
But you can also go down in value. Now I will at least cover some gains already.
You see? I'm already more valuable than I was a few seconds ago. I'll probably grow even further.
But I have to dollar cost average.
You were already about to sell me. Stop acting like you're a responsible investor and let me grow further to maximize your gains.
Okay, you're right. I can make a lot of gains as long as you're growing.
How is your dollar cost averaging going? Did you add another $100?
Damn it, he's right. I need to stick to my original plan. I'm adding another $100 and stick to dollar cost averaging. Oh my god. I should have sold back there. You can't time the market. Let's forget about it and buy some more.
Are you sure? I'm literally still decreasing in value. You can get me for way cheaper.
Go away. I'm going to buy and stick to my dollar cost averaging strategy.
You see? I'm even cheaper now.
Damn it, you're right. Okay. I'll wait while you decrease in value, but at the slightest sign of you growing, I'll buy.
Good. I know you can do it. You can time the market.
Really?
Psych.
Pumpit.
I need to stop this. Dollar cost averaging is easy. I just need to buy and don't look at the price. But what if it will go down further? I could buy it for cheaper and I don't want to buy while the market is decreasing. What are you doing, Wojak? Focus. Just buy it now. Damn it, just as I was about to buy. I'll just wait a few more seconds before buying.
Welcome Bitcoin friends, it's Bitcoin Ramo. Today we're going to look at the Bitcoin charts, we'll do some TA, look at various time frames, and we'll also take a look at a market cipher. So just looking at the weekly now, I've been looking at this parallel channel drawn on the log scale, and we were expecting a bounce off the bottom of this channel similar to this previous pullback. The setup was there for a bounce, looking at a number of indicators. But we did get a big sell-off, and once we did break below this trend line, below 55.2 approximately, we had this massive sell-off. We get a strong bounce from there, and it pushed us back above 49k. Currently we're at 51.1. So I was wrong on this call. I did take a loss on my trade. I did have a stop loss below this previous wick, so it wasn't a liquidation. But anything can happen with Bitcoin. We can get to these big sell-offs and wipe out a lot of the over-leveraged longs. Just looking here on the weekly, we can see that we are above the VPVR support here and currently are above the main area of support, with the top of this being around 50,150. We do also have these two weekly order blocks here, this green candle in a downtrend and this red candle in an uptrend. And we can see we did close the week above both of these order blocks. You can also see we did come down into the weekly EMA ribbon, and we are currently still in this ribbon. The top of this ribbon is at 52.7, and that would be a good level to get above to show that this ribbon has held as support. Just looking at the VPVR from this 29k low to our 69k peak, we see the most amount of volume was traded at 47,700 approximately. We see a similar volume profile with it starting to drop off above 49.8. And let's just look at some fibs now, taking it from this low to our 69k high. we do see that we did wick into the golden pocket here around 43, 44k. And the 0.5 level is in line with this weekly order block, and we did close above that 0.5 level, and we are currently trading above that level. So this is on the log chart, and we're going to start on the monthly time frame and head down and look at it on the linear scale with a similar trend line connecting these lows. So let's start here on the monthly time frame with a fresh chart. And we can see this red candle in the uptrend. So we do have this monthly order block here, and we can see that we wick down into this monthly order block and have had this strong bounce so far. Going down to the 2-week time frame now, we have two other order blocks drawn in here from this red candle in an uptrend and this red candle here. We can see that 2-week order block overlaps with the monthly order block here in red. And going down to the weekly time frame, we see this red candle here in the uptrend. So we do have a weekly order block here, just drawn in yellow. We also have an order block here with this green candle, but it is covered in this 2-week order block and this monthly order block. But we can see we did close these weeklies above this order block. And we also came down and wicked down and tested this order block here, and are currently above all of these order blocks. Going down to the daily time frame now, I've just drawn in these order blocks here, and a lot of those come from back in February, March and April here. And just looking at them a bit more closely now, we can see we did get this strong bounce here. We have this daily order block higher up here overlapping with the weekly order block. We can see we did wick up into this daily order block here, and so far we have gotten a rejection. This order block is between 51.6 and 52.150, and just adding this trend line connecting the lows on the linear scale now rather than the log scale, we can see we broke below this line also on this big drop, and on this bounce we have come up to test this trend line, and it has rejected on this first attempt to get back above it, and it's in line with that daily order block. So this will be a key level to get back above, and it's around that 52,000 area. So as we mentioned, doing the fib retracement from the 29k low to 69k high here, we did wick into that golden pocket area, and we are currently above the 0.5 fib level. Looking also at the fib retracement from this low, we can see that we have that golden pocket area in the 50,000 area, and we are currently inside this golden pocket. So it would be good for us to reclaim this 618 level and also get back above this trend line and start using it as support. And although we did have this big drop here below this trend line, if we can get back above it and start using it as support on the macro scale, would be seen as a fake out. But if we do get a rejection here, there is a possibility we come back down into this zone and test some of this wick. But I personally don't think we're going to make a lower low now. There was a lot of volume on this sell-off here, and quite often on these large volume spikes, it can indicate tops and bottoms on trends. And looking at the VPVR, the amount of volume traded at certain price levels, to see the most amount of volume was traded at 47.7k. And on the other side, we do see the biggest spike around 57.4. We also see a spike further down at around 54.3, in line with these daily order blocks here. And just looking at some more trend lines now, just connecting the overall tops here and also the lows. And what we can see is this wedge pattern here, and we did drop below it. And now it looks like we're attempting to try to get back inside this wedge, but so far we have gotten this rejection from this white trend line and also this order block. But I think this would be the first key level to start closing daily candles above this yellow trend line connecting the lows. And then the second level would be above this white trend line. And we can also look at this blue dotted trend line, just connecting these two highs before this big drop. And this would be another key level to get above and possibly form a bump and run pattern. These are the 3 key trend lines I'll be watching as to determine whether we're going to come back down here and sweep some of this wick, or if we're going to just carry on here and break back into this wedge pattern and also above this white trend line to try to eventually break this overall wedge pattern. And on tomorrow's candle, the top of this white trend line would be at 52,150. We also see the daily EMA ribbon has flipped bearish here with this yellow line crossing below the red line. And this will be another level of resistance. Currently it's at 55.3. This might take a few days for price action to come in contact with this EMA ribbon as it does come down here. Looking at the stochastic RSI, it did completely cool off. And if we were to have another pullback here and make some lower lows on the daily closes with the bodies of these candles, perhaps we might make some bullish divergence when looking at the RSI. If we were to make higher lows on the RSI but lower lows on the price action using the bodies of the candles, we would put in some bullish divergence on the daily, and quite often that can give a lot more confidence on a bottom here. But we'll have to see how the daily closes here. We are quite close to breaking back into this falling wedge pattern. We do have some possible hidden bullish divergence here. We can see we made lower lows on the RSI, while at the same time making higher lows on the price action. But we will need to get above the body of this red candle on this drop, above 53,750 to confirm that divergence. And that would most likely put us above this white trend line also. But we are quite low on the daily RSI here, around that 30 level. And we can see the other times that we've been this low was at the bottom of this dip from 60 to 30k, and also back in the stock market crash in March. So we are very oversold on the daily, and I do think this was the bottom. And just looking at some of these daily order blocks further down, there's this red candle in this uptrend and this green candle in this downtrend. So on a sweep down here, I would possibly look for this level on this order block, and that would be at between 46,400 to 46,100. And looking at the Bitcoin futures chart on CME now, I've got that same trend line drawn connecting the lows and also this falling wedge pattern. We do see on this drop, we did also come into this VPVR support here. And we don't see much price action in this range until we get to around 54,600. But we do see after that big drop over the weekend, we did create this gap and we did come up and fill that gap on this recent bounce. What we also see that's different to the spot price chart is just connecting the lows here. We do see we are inside this wedge pattern for the time being. This daily candle hasn't closed yet. We do also see we did wick up to the bottom of this yellow trend line. We did get some resistance on this first attempt. The EMA ribbon on the daily hasn't quite flipped yet. The top of this ribbon's all the way at 57.5 and the bottom's at 56,160. The stochastic RSI is quite similar here, and we also have this possible hidden bullish divergence with higher lows on the price and lower lows on the RSI. And just going back to the spot price chart on the daily and looking at some fib levels, looking at the overall fib level from the 69k high to the 41.8k low. We see the 382 level in orange here, and doing the fib levels from the high here at 59k before this drop to the low. We see that golden pocket area here does line up with that 382 level. We also see that 0.5 fib level at 50,400 approximately. We can see we are currently above that 0.5 fib level, and we did get pretty close here to the 382 level and the golden pocket area. Going down to the 4-hour time frame now, we've got those same trend lines drawn and those fib levels. And on this time frame, we can see that we are still inside this falling wedge pattern. We did get quite close here to that 382 fib level, which is at 52,250. we did wick up to 52,000. So as mentioned, I'd like to see a daily candle close inside this falling wedge pattern with a bit more confidence that perhaps we're going to start using the bottom of this wedge as support, and then try to make a break of this major white trend line connecting the lows, and also this white dotted trend line just connecting these two highs before the drop. We'll have to see how the daily closes. As mentioned on the daily, we are currently below this falling wedge pattern, and if we do close below here, then I think we'll have one more swoop back down, and I would be looking for that 46.4 area to act as support on this order block. Pulling up the EMA ribbon now on the 4-hour chart, you can see we have come into this ribbon. The bottom of this ribbon is at 50,700 and the top is at 52.6. If we do start closing the 4-hour candles below this ribbon, could be an early indication that we're going to have one more push back down. We do see the stochastic RSI on the 4-hour is starting to come down here, and the RSI is in the middle zone around a 50 reading. Looking at market cipher now on the 4-hour time frame, we did get that green dot after this big drop, and did look like we were going to come back down here, but we did carry on higher with this blue wave. We crossed the zero line, and it does look like we're possibly going to start turning around here on the 4-hour. Once we do see a red dot, the money flow is still in the red. The 6-hour time frame has a similar green dot. We did push higher. We haven't crossed the zero line yet though. The money flow is also still in the red. The 12-hour did get a green dot here, and that has been confirmed. We do see the money flow quite deep in the red here. Perhaps this was an early indication here once we got this red dot and we didn't manage to push higher here with the blue wave, and the money flow in red started getting stronger before we did have this drop. The daily time frame does have a green dot. It hasn't been confirmed yet. It will be in a few hours. And we do see the money flow just peeking into the red here. The 2-day time frame, we did have that green dot, and we were looking like we might carry on higher from this point. Then we did get this red dot, and this blue wave has gone down further here. We won't open a new 2-day candle for another day and a bit. We'll have to look for that green dot on the 2-day. The 3-day has also come down here with this blue wave, and it doesn't look to be closing off yet. So perhaps that daily green dot may give us a red and a green dot and a bit of indecision as we play out in a range until we can get that 3-day green dot. And the next candle isn't until a day and a bit also. So I think that's about all. These are the key levels I'll be watching with these trend lines. If we close the daily below this trend line, below 51,000, then I think we're probably going to get pushed back down and swoop this wick again. And again, I'll be looking for this level at 46,000 and this order block to possibly be a bounce point. Quite often on these big wicks down, we come back down to fill some of the wick, and quite often we go to about halfway off the wick's length. So that's about all. I hope you enjoyed that analysis. Thanks for watching. I'm Bitcoin Mamo. I'll see you next time. Bye.